Hey, welcome to Wanderlust Yoga. My name is Lou. I am so happy that you are here, my friend. Roll out your mat and let's get started. All right, so today we're going to talk about Chaturanga Dandasana. So, first of all, what is Chaturanga Dandasana? Well, it is a transitionary pose that takes you from plank to a back bend of choice when you're moving through sun salutations. So in Sanskrit, chatur means four, anga means limb, danda means staff, and asana means pose. So it translates to four-limbed staff pose. And it's really good to have modifications for this because sometimes we have kind of funky shoulders or elbows, or maybe we're just having a weird day where that stuff feels a little out of alignment. Also, sometimes if you're doing a really vigorous practice, you might find yourself needing to modify at certain points because you just need a breather. So there's different ways that we can do this. I'm going to break down a few of them. And first and foremost, I'm just going to show you what a standard Chaturanga Dandasana looks like. So when you're going through sun salutations, you're going to wind up in plank. So from here, we've got shoulders over the wrists, hips nice and steady in line with the shoulders, strong plank here, low belly pulled in. When you Chaturanga Dandasana, you're going to turn the eyes of the elbows forward. Then from here, rock forward to tiptoes, taking the elbows over the wrists, look forward to keep your spine long. Then you exhale to a 90-degree bend in the elbows and inhale to a back bend of choice. So you can come into an upward facing dog, or sometimes people lower all the way to the belly and then lift up for cobra or a low cobra. So these are the options that you're working with here with Chaturanga Dandasana. So the very first modification that I'm going to suggest is just putting your knees down. So instead of coming from a straight plank like this, you're just going to lower the knees down. And when you're in this shape, you're still activating the low belly, you're still strengthening the core. So you're going to come down, you still bring the eyes of the elbows forward and the shoulders and elbows over the wrists. Then from here, you can lower down to 90 degrees and then lift up to your back bend of choice. Maybe all the way down to the belly, maybe lifting up for upward facing dog. So that's your first option. Second option is to use blocks. And this is just going to give you more space. So you're going to place these blocks underneath your shoulders. You'll come up into your plank. Again, you rock forward, lower to 90 degrees, inhale to lift up. So it just gives you more space, more freedom. Now the other option is going to be to come right into an up dog and just basically skip the Chaturanga Dandasana portion of it where you drop down to 90 degrees. This can be really good like at the end of a practice if you're just kind of fatigued or if you have funkiness in the shoulders. So what you would do from here is from that high plank, instead of going through the lowering, you'll wind up in your plank and you're just gonna soften the hips down and make your way into up dog. Nice and easy. And then from there, you can send the hips high, find your down dog, right? So for that last variation, I definitely recommend that you're a little bit warm. Sometimes going right into an up dog can be a little strenuous on the back. So make sure that you're nice and warm when you shift into that variation. Whew. All right, so another thing I wanted to mention is if you're trying to work on just strengthening here, what you can do is take a strap and you're going to measure the distance. I pre-measured this. You're going to measure the distance that you would need if you were in a plank, okay? You're going to place the strap above the shoulders. Then you're going to come down like so. And you can play with this in a knee plank to start, to build strength. Walking the knees back, shoulders over wrists. Start to soften down. And this strap is just going to afford you some more stability. Then as you start to grow stronger, you can lift the legs here and move into a plank and just stay for as long as you can. And the strap really helps to stabilize you. And it helps to build that strength where you're supported. It's not so weight bearing when you have the strap. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Chaturanga Dandasana is a beautiful pose. It's really helpful. It's really strengthening, but it can be a lot, right? So as we're learning yoga and we're learning sun salutations, it's just always helpful to have options, modifications. And it's so important that we use our discernment day to day because we're always showing up to the mat differently. Our bodies are always in flux. Things are always changing. I hope you found this helpful. I'll be coming out with more content every week. Subscribe if you liked what you saw here, and I will see you next time.